Good morning. Well, it's Sunday, time for a coffee. Yeah, bit of a sleep in. I have a quick coffee and then I'll go for a run. And then I'll get stuck into my day. I've got a bit of stuff to get through today, but I'll run over that later. Well, no, I'll let you know now. I've got planning to do for the next few days, and then I've got shopping, and I guess as the thumbnail will probably give it away. We'll do a bit of a grocery haul. There's a couple of comments in yesterday's video that they wanted to see my grocery haul. I don't know if I'm brave enough to pull a camera out in the supermarket, but we'll see. Yeah, so I'll go for a run first. I was a really keen runner until maybe 2 years ago when I started this channel, or not this channel, but other channels. And then I kind of just focused so heavily on making content that it was either like sleep less or not to exercise. So I kind of chose to still sleep the right amount of hours. Now I'm in no way promoting like hustle culture or anything like that, but sometimes you need to sacrifice things for other things to come to fruition. So you need to make those kind of decisions. And I've got back into exercise now. The stuff's kind of starting to settle down, and I'm enjoying it. I've probably been back working out for 3 or 4 months now. Kind of back into the habit. The body's not like as sore anymore, which is nice. Yeah, so I'll go do 10K run today. I mean, my normal kind of workout, I kind of do gym 6 days a week, and then I'll run or ride my bike for a day as well. So and then have one rest day. I'm also like pretty strict on tracking my calories at the moment too. I only do that when I'm here or when I'm at home working. When I'm traveling, I kind of don't stress about it. It's just a bit hard and a bit not, it is what it is. I think it's nice to have a break. The neighbour's already mowing his lawn. I guess it is Sunday. What else? Yeah, so I'll go for a run. I'll have a coffee and then I'll go for a run, and then I will have some breakfast, have a shower. I'll show you, kind of run you through the planning and the software that we use, the app I guess that we use to do the planning, and then I'll head out and do the shopping, and I'll show you everything I get for 3 days for shooting. But first I need a coffee.
Mr. Ducky's just woken up too. He's getting old. He's a lot of sleeping these days, doesn't he? He's a big sleeper.
Mm-hmm. Alright, it's a few hours later. I enjoy Sundays. It's nice to kind of take it easy. So I got back from my run and did a bit of stretching, had a shower, and then ate some breakfast and scrolled online for a while. Kind of death scrolling, doom scrolling. My social media habits have changed quite a lot in the last 2 years. For a long time I was like really obsessed about kind of, really being across all the videos and making sure I knew who was doing it. I was like consuming a lot of content, probably in the under the false illusion that it was research, when I think it was actually just a distraction. But so I go through waves. Sometimes I'm like really into it. Sometimes I'm kind of really not into it. And I think I'm at a good level at the moment where I consume a little bit of content when I want to and can pretty easily put it down. But yeah, kind of focused on my own creative process at the moment. Because I think you can, as a creative, which I always struggle to refer myself to. I guess that's kind of what I am. I think you can exacerbate or exhaust yourself, and overthink it, right? Like I think as a content creator, you can kind of overthink stuff too easily. And I try not to overthink things, like obviously I want popular viral videos. I want the videos to do well, but I also want to kind of stay true to myself. And I think that's really important for longevity. So, yeah. think that's important for longevity. I don't know. It's like, it's one of those things that you battle with where you see kind of creators, you know, like, and I think a lot of the big creators, you have like these spikes, you know, like growth's never like this in this industry. You kind of like do this, and when you first start seeing like massive growth, you think, well, and you just start predicting that you're going to be, you know, the next PewDiePie or Mr. Beast and have 100 million YouTube subscribers. You know, because there's been months of, you know, that I've had 400,000 followers on YouTube, right? You know, you think, oh, this is going to last forever, and then you kind of realize, no, it's not how it works for most people. Yeah, so I guess coming to terms with that, and then keep, you know, making sure you don't burn out. And I think that's one thing that I've been really conscious of, is I've seen there's a lot of talk around burnout, and there has been in the last few years, especially in the creator community. So I'm really conscious of it, but at the same time, I really love what I do. So I try not to burn out. But yeah, if that makes sense, it probably doesn't. I don't know. Yeah, you know, I kind of started making notes and started my planning. This week's pretty chocker, and it's kind of not an easy time of the year, but you know, we're in the last week or second to last week of November, so we're starting to shoot our Christmas content now. I think in the past I've shot it too early or posted it too early. I don't think people are kind of into it. You know, you don't want to get Christmas rammed down your throat too early, especially like planning your food. So I'm kind of pushing it all back this year. Our main Christmas video is going to go live on the 17th of December. And then, because we post on the main channel every Sunday, so that will go live on the Sunday the 17th. The week after that is the Sunday the 24th. So I'm going to do a video dedicated to Christmas leftovers. And it's always like real hit and miss, those videos. I think sometimes it's, I don't know. It's like, if I look at my habits around that time, I probably do consume more content over those kind of 2 weeks of Christmas. But does everyone? I don't know. I definitely probably don't I probably do on Christmas Day. I had COVID last year at Christmas, so it was a bit of a weird one. But yeah, I'll run you through Notion in a second. But I think kind of this next month is pretty crazy. It's really hectic. You know, I've got an event on Friday for Kilcoy, this Friday coming up, and then we've got like another shoot week, and then the week after that, I've been nominated for TikTok Creator of the Year. So we're flying the whole team down to Sydney, and obviously, excuse me. Obviously, we'll take you along to that and show you all the kind of the behind the scenes of that as much as I can, anyway. I think that'll be a pretty. I went to it last year as like we just got invited to go to the actual festival. It was like really fun. So it was like cool to meet all the other creators and hang out and stuff. So yeah, we'll head off and do that. That's that week. That dry throat, I need some water. But that's the week starting the 3rd of December. And then we're moving into this place permanently. So currently, you know, we lease a house that we've worked out of and lived out of, and we've been building a place the whole time. The plan was always to build this place before I ever made content. It just took a lot longer to build than expected, as it is with most builds at the moment. So this was always going to happen, and then the content had started, and anyway, we've kind of built a home, and now we've basically kind of converted that to a studio. So we will live here, but it's like the house is like pretty much the studio with a bedroom that we sleep in. And like I kind of, I love and hate that at the same time. Like it's like there's no separation from work, which is like, can be like a bit stressful, but also it's like really efficient, right? Like, you know, like it means that, you know, during the week, and you'll start seeing that next tomorrow. Well, you won't, it's all a bit weird at the moment because we're kind of traveling a bit, but in the next weeks, you'll start seeing my schedule. It's like wake up, exercise, work, team arrives, work with the team finishes up for the day, kind of keep working, have something to eat, go to bed, rinse and repeat Monday to Friday, and it just slows a bit down on the weekends like it is today. But yeah, so we use Notion, which is like a workflow app to run all our planning. And I'll show you that kind of awkwardly now. So this is Notion. I don't know how much of this you can see, but this is like the film calendar, effectively. So next week I've kind of already figured out what I'm going to film. I kind of sat around before when I was waiting and did it. I'm going to make sambal because I had a video do pretty well. Nasi lemak, and everyone was like, "Oh, how'd you make the sambal?" And I kind of didn't include it in the video. It's kind of hard with the 1 minute videos, like what do you include, what don't you include. So I'm going to make sambal. So that's one video. I'm going to do some shrimp or prawn, in this case tacos, some pickled onions and some piccalilli. And the idea behind those two videos is like stocking up your fridge before Christmas so that when it comes time to have leftover sandwiches, you've got piccalilli and pickled onions there. Tuesday we've got the Christmas video and I'll run you through those on the day. And then Wednesday we've got the leftovers video. And then Thursday we got like a brand deal to shoot. And a kiwi pav video for Chrissy, some tabbouleh and some flatbreads, again kind of leading into that, like, you know, you wake up on Boxing Day and you've got no bread, you know, it's really not that hard to make any. And then for Friday, like I was saying, we've got that event. I've actually got another event on Saturday. So that's the film calendar, and then over here we have the posting calendar. So this is kind of this is where we're at. So today we're about to post a tune 'em out video. Tomorrow we've got a Nashville video. Like Sundays, obviously, or yesterday, or today, technically, sorry. I'm not posting a tune 'em out, that's Monday. I'm posting a blueberry jam video, and obviously the Nashville Origins video went live last night. So this is kind of how we keep all this, and it's all pretty, you know, you click on that, that's Nashville Origins. It's not in proofing, it's actually published. But you can see like all the description that you know, like Daz puts in there, the title options, you know, an upload checklist and stuff like that. And then if there's recipes attached, there'll also be the recipe that I'll write in there, and then I kind of use AI to spell check that, and then Caitlin checks it as well. So this is kind of our everything effectively. I know what I'm making now pretty much for the rest of the week. Now I just need to kind of write a shopping list, and I'll do that on Notion so that I can then I can access it on my phone. While I'm shopping, I can tick stuff off. So shopping, I'll end up going to 3 shops today. I'll go to an Asian supermarket, I'll go to a big supermarket, a general supermarket, and then I'll go to a veg shop. So there's kind of 2 major supermarkets in Australia, Coles and Woolies, and they kind of have a bit of a duopoly. I think that's a correct term. They kind of control the whole. There's a lot of noise about it at the moment that they probably shouldn't be allowed to do that. I think it's a really complicated subject, and I'm not an economic, expert. The cost of living is expensive at the moment, and I think people are kind of just looking to, to point the finger at whoever they can, and rightfully so. I guess these companies kind of need to be held accountable. But I mean, I don't know. It's a for-profit business at the same time. Like, they can kind of do what they want. I'm not sure how much power the government does have. There's a lot of people kind of boycotting them and going. There's like IGA, which is Independent Grocers Australia. And I think my issue, I don't have any issue with IGA. The issue that you have with not using IGA is that the selection and the amount of stuff you have access to at like a Woolworths that I kind of go to is far greater. So if I was to start using IGA, I'd probably still have to go to Woolworths anyway to get some stuff, because they just don't stock it in IGA. So it kind of becomes tricky. However, I do shop at the greengrocer, or the fruit and veg shop. The produce is just better. There's no kind of question about it. And I get my meat from Kilcoy, who I work with and have done for a long time. I beat my beef and my lamb. That's all kind of through those guys. So then if I need chicken or anything like that, I'll sometimes get it for the butcher. Sometimes the chicken actually at Coles and Woolies isn't too bad. I think those products that are like, really high volume, you can imagine how much chicken those major supermarkets would go through every day, it's actually probably going to be fresher there than at most butchers. And I think if I didn't have the relationship that I have with Kilcoy, I probably wouldn't. I probably would go to a butcher more. But yeah, if I just need chicken or something, then I tend to, and it's just through laziness, right? Like it's just like another stop that I have to make. Like everybody, I'm not trying to say like my time's more precious than anyone else, but the bottleneck that we have in this business, I guess, is my time. Like at the moment, I'm kind of doing all the recipe development. I write all the recipes, I cook all the food, I do all the shopping and all that. So we might look at hiring like a food, like me, someone that could help me next year and doing the shopping and stuff like that. And, some of the kind of back end stuff, just so I can focus more on the content and being in front of the camera and stuff. But we'll cross that bridge next year. It's a tricky one. You want to support local as much as you can. And I think I do with the veg suppliers and seafood. I'll always go to a fishmonger. I'll never buy seafood from the supermarkets. It's just terrible. It's old and seafood needs to be fresh. And we live in the Sunshine Coast. I'm 20 minutes from the beach here. The Lillibeth fisheries are literally some of the best tuna in the world comes into that port. Unfortunately, most of it gets shipped overseas, like a lot of that stuff does, but you can still kind of access it if you kind of need to. But and I kind of have a pretty good relationship with a lot of those kind of fishery guys down there. But I do now. But yeah, there's like certain things like fish, like food. I have a big interest in food, obviously, and food production. And I think there's probably a misconception often about how big it is, like how much food the world actually eats and produces, and how hard logistically that is to keep up. I just don't think people quite comprehend the scale that system is. It's just a beast, and there's certain things. I think if you're buying fresh fish, you should always go to a fishmonger. Things like prawns or shrimp, most of the big prawn trawlers, and I'm pretty confident on this, I'd say like over 90% would fish for prawns. They'd process them on the boat and they'd be frozen. So even if you go to a fishmonger and there's prawns on the counter that are raw, and ready to cook, I reckon the chances are that they probably have been frozen and just been defrosted. But so there's lots of little nuances, and then lots of things that I'll go here for this and I'll go there for that. But then you start getting time poor, and it's tricky. So yeah, I tend to shop at a Woolies, and that's just because it's location based. It's the closest big supermarket to me. There's a veg shop that I go to a lot called Fresh Fruit, and there's another one that I go to a lot called what is that one called? Rods, fruit and veg on Nicklin Way. Anyway, I go there. So. But I do miss the markets. That was a big thing for us in Melbourne. Was we would go to the South Melbourne market every Sunday. Every Sunday, me and Caitlin would get up. We'd go to the markets. This was before I was making content. I was a corporate chef, but I'd get up. We'd go to the markets. You're dealing with the fishmonger, the butcher, the cheese. The fromagier, the deli. The little grocer. I'd eat a dozen oysters for breakfast. But you just don't have that culture here in the Sunshine Coast. You don't have markets like that where you can kind of go and get everything, and it's like a real community. And I really miss that about Melbourne. It's just a bit more spread out, and yeah, I think that's one of those things that Melbourne's really good at. And it reminds me of like a European city like that. Like Barcelona, fantastic markets. But you can go to one spot and you can go and see all these artisan not producers, but artisan sales spots and get what you want. But I really miss that, and probably will draw you back to that part of the world at some point because of it. But yeah, right now it is what it is. So I'm gonna head out, get all the shopping done. Like I said before, I don't know if I'm brave enough to pull a camera out just yet. It's a Sunday, so and it's like lunchtime, so it's going to be busy. maybe when it's quieter, I'll come in midweek during the day. I'll do it one day, but then if I don't see you while I'm out on the road, I'll kind of show you everything when we're back at the studio, and I'll unload everything and talk you through it and how much it cost. Whoops. I'm no good without Mitchell here. I don't know how I used to do this all by myself. So, there it is, the grocery haul. People get funny about filming in public, so I don't want to do that. It feels weird. Maybe I just need to be a bit more brave, but it was really busy out there, and I didn't want to be one of those vloggers that starts filming themselves in the supermarket. Anyway, I digress. This is everything I need to make 2 YouTubes and 4 short videos, plus all the staples that's already in my fridge anyway. So breakdown, I went to the Asian supermarket first and I spent about $40, mainly on like spices. I got my shallots from there, chilies, some shrimp paste and tamarind. After that I went to Woolies and I kind of got what was on the outskirts of this table here. So I got a couple of really good chickens. I've used these ones before. They're the free range chicken raised in Southeast Queensland, they're growing slowly. I don't know. They're really nice. I think you can probably only get them in Southeast Queensland. But they're really expensive. Like you're like $16 a bird as opposed to like $9 a bird. So those are expensive. I got some berries for breakfast. I got some milk, eggs, some berries, some fresh berries because they're on special, butter, vinegar. And I got these little tray things that I use for the new studio. But that was $250. $250, which kind of blew my mind. It was expensive. And some drinks. With the team, we all like to drink these sparkling waters here. It's a good way to they're like sugar-free. Anyway. And then the center table, all the veg that I got here, this was $100. So it's expensive in shopping at the moment. It's really expensive. There's no denying that. And then all this will get eaten, don't you worry. Like nothing goes to waste here. We either eat it or we give it away. But to be honest, pretty much all that gets eaten, either gets, like the team takes it home. We sit down together and have lunch every day, the whole team. Even if I'm not here or I haven't cooked, then I encourage the team to order and takeaway and sit down and eat together. That's one of those disciplines that I had my whole career in kitchens, is that you sit down, have a family meal, and don't talk about work. You talk about anything but work. That's the rule. You don't talk about work and you sit down and you eat together. And I think that kind of brings people together really well. So all the food that we make on these videos gets eaten one way or another. And I don't usually cook in the evenings. So I'll either heat myself. We have our main meal at lunchtime. I'll heat some leftovers up for dinner, or we'll get Uber Eats or something like that. Order something in. But after cooking all day, I don't tend to want to start cooking again unless it's like reheating something or making a fried rice out of some leftovers, something like that. So yeah, I had to go to another shop as well and get some like mason jars for preserving for a video. I think I spent almost $400 today, which is pretty crazy. But yes, it's my business. This is a business expense. We make these videos. It's a business expense, but that still doesn't kind of make it any better. I guess I just feel for some young families now. If you've got teenage kids who eat a lot, I'm guessing your grocery bill will be $400 or $500 a week, which is a lot of money. But all in all, it's a pretty successful shop. I do need to get something else out of the freezer before I forget. So this here is a piece of Carrara beef. I really need to take that out before I forget to defrost it. So that's for the Christmas video. I guess that's the other thing to realize, that the YouTube video this week is me making Christmas lunch, right? So there's a lot of food. So I'm gonna do a roast beef, roast chickens, roast potatoes, roast carrots, roast Brussels sprouts,
there's bacon, there's maple syrup. It's a lot of expensive ingredients. It's going to be expensive. It's probably more expensive than a normal YouTube video would cost me. But yeah, one day I'll be brave enough, maybe if it's not a Sunday afternoon, to go and, I don't know, put my camera on my trolley and walk you around. But yeah, Woolies was just crazy busy. The veg shop was crazy busy. The only place that wasn't busy was the Asian supermarket, but he said he'd been busy all morning. Anyway, I'm going to get all this stuff put away before it starts to heat up too much, and then I'll let you know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day.
Alright, well that's just spent the last hour doing really unfun stuff, like balancing books. Necessary evil, you kind of have to get it done. Yeah, but I reckon I probably spend maybe 2 hours a week on bookkeeping. I've got an accountant who does like the main stuff, like they have BAS every quarter and obviously a tax return every year, but like putting invoices into Xero and then paying staff and stuff I take care of. Yeah, like any business. Yeah, it's kind of part of it. But that's it. That's my Sunday. So the fridges and everything are full. The accounts are done. Ready for Monday tomorrow. You get stuck into filming straight off the bat. Oh, don't know why that just changed colour. I think we're back. Yeah. Pretty standard weekend, I guess, for me. And next week we're pretty busy. So tune in tomorrow to see a day of shorts filming. We'll see you then. Peace.